Sanna suddenly sat up. She didn't want to take the thought any further, but it was faster. She had felt equally disconnected from Janne. She had been lying in bed, but inside she had floated off. She was nowhere near what was happening, Janne making love to her. And then a voice suddenly called her back to the bedroom. She had to answer a question. She arbitrarily answered yes, and Janne stopped. She had given the wrong answer. Now she fished for the question. It was still lurking at the cusp of her ear. Do you want me to stop? Does it hurt? No. She meant no. She didn't feel anything. She wanted to wash away her thoughts. The day at the mine, she stripped off the mining company uniform in her room. The showers were at the end of the hall, and there wasn't anywhere in the shower stall to leave her clothes. Walking through the stench of mold and stale booze that was the Shire, while wrapped in nothing more than a towel, made her feel even grubbier. She had to adjust the temperature from the separate hot and cold taps, and it alternated between scorchy and icy. Sanna gasped, her hair a mat of algae across her face. Goddamn motherfucker. Goddamn moldy pile of shit. Her cursing targeted all of it. Water dyed orange streamed down her face and throat. The sand from the pit clung to her skin, a miner's tan, and the streaks of color raced down her body toward the drain like bloody roots. Sanna slapped down the hallway in her flip-flops and realized she didn't have the key in her hand. She went back to the shower stall, but she knew she wouldn't find it there. She remembered having seen it on the bed. She wrapped her towel around herself as tightly as she could, as if the tautness meant it covered more, and headed downstairs. There was a single counter that served as both reception desk and bar, and she didn't see anyone behind it. At the far end of the bar, men were waiting to be served. Sanna's appearance elicited whistles. "Nice dress," someone said. Sanna tried to pretend she didn't notice. Did it have to be Friday, the bar packed? The bartender came back out, didn't even look at Sanna, and started taking the men's orders. Sanna cleared her throat. "Excuse me." The bartender was pouring a beer, tilting it so it wouldn't foam. "Can I help you?" the man closest to Sanna asked. He touched her arm. The hairs on her skin stood up, and Sanna edged away. She could feel the water from her hair slithering down her back. She clenched the towel in a spasmodic, single-handed grip. She shook her head, gave him a smile that was equal parts discomfort and rejection, and again tried to flag down the bartender. The guy standing on the other side of her new friend whistled shrilly at the far end of the bar. "This girl here needs something." "Maybe some clothes?" someone shouted. "Maybe a drink," laughed another. "Who's buying? You never know what you'll find under that towel." Sanna tried to join in the laughter. Her ears were ringing. The bartender meandered over, pausing to serve those in line in front of her. It was the hotel owner, an older guy with a mustache. The man next to her patted her again. "Don't look so scared." A faint cry escaped Sanna's lips, and she shook her head. The owner finally decided to make his way over. He lowered a hand to the counter and looked at Sanna. "And what can I do for you?" Sanna felt warm discharge run down the inside of her thighs. This couldn't be happening. She stammered something about her keys. "You lose them?" "No, they're in my room." "Good. I'll be up in a minute to open the door." "Now, please." "It's going to be a minute." Sanna left the bar and waited outside her room. The door to the neighboring room had been kicked in. The jambs framed a portrait of destruction. It was ages before the owner clomped up the stairs. Sanna could feel the sweat on her neck. She lowered her eyes when she sensed him sizing her up. He flipped through his keys and stepped up to the door. Sanna tried to slip out of the way, but he told her to stay put. He tested the key he found, but the lock just clunked. Sanna concentrated on exhaling. That's what she'd learned in therapy. The lungs will take care of the inhaling. Just blow out. The owner lowered a shoulder, steeled himself, and threw his weight against the door. Sanna squealed. The door boards creaked, but the lock